Hello, my chaotic crew. It is I, Bentley Michaels. Hey, summer's almost over, and y'all gotta go back to school. But if you want to procrastinate, please do it with us. And while you're procrastinating, maybe you could leave us a little review on the iTunes there, on the Stitcher, the Podbean, wherever it is that you listen to podcasts, and we'd sure appreciate it. And I'd love to read it in this section right now. Instead of me saying the same thing every week, I'd love to read your review. But first, hold on, we gotta do a little ad swap with Cheaper by the Dungeon. Listen to this guy.
Hello everyone, my name's Adam, and I currently play Norman D in the Cheaper by the Dungeon podcast. Cheaper by the Dungeon is a Dungeons & Dragons podcast, and I want to tell you about a new campaign that we are starting September 4th. You can listen to us anywhere that you would find a podcast, including iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify, but again, anywhere you might find a podcast. So September 4th, be sure to log in to Cheaper by the Dungeon, and remember, hashtag Normandy for president.
Normandy, did you get your music from the Wii menu? You ridiculous. But please, go check them out. September 4th, Cheaper by the Dungeon. They got a brand new campaign launching. And, after you leave us a review, leave them a review. What's that music? I believe it's almost time for a new episode. Time, you say?
In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
Welcome back to Chaotic Amateurs, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, the internet's #1 D&D 5e play podcast. Oh, hey, boys and girls, it's me, Season 2 DM Bentley Michaels. To my right, I have
Caleb is Yamhorn Doril.
Dash as Peleus Earth.
Red is Duroc Dragon's Bane. Milo is Ren.
Oh, and last time, so many items, so much magic. Oh, these guys, they're getting all pumped up. They're getting all. They're feeling pretty good about what's going on here, I think.
Yeah, Yamhorn's feeling pretty good.
So, you look, Ren. You look stylish as all garbage.
Feeling dapper.
In your new badass cloak, Yamhorn. You got that sweet shield you always wanted.
Yep.
And all you had to do was wait like a year and a half.
Yeah. And lose everything in between then.
Oh yeah. I mean, sure, your lady's ring is gone, and you lost all your hair, and you're horribly scarred from lava. But no big deal.
Hey,
you got a shield.
Yeah.
I mean, look forward. Come on.
Half full, right?
And Duroc, you were given a little knowledge about some shield action, or some sword action rather.
Yeah.
So maybe now you'll take attuning more seriously. So, ladies and gents, and Peleus went through his trials. He got his amulet, and we now join Peleus standing on the circle dealy there. What am I trying to say? What is this?
Platter. The
platter. The pizza platter.
Yeah.
Held up by stubby dwarven fingers. The pizza platter. The platform. That's what I wanted. We were halfway there with platter. And standing on the platform by himself. All right, now Peleus, you are standing there looking at the platform when all of a sudden Inendryll grabs you by the back of your shirt and lifts you way up.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to fly. I think I'm flying.
Please roll me a perception check.
17.
All right, good. So for the first time, Peleus, because initially you walked around the platform completely, and then when you were up there with your amulet, you weren't really paying attention. But for the first time, you see not dissimilar. Well, I guess you wouldn't have been there. I forget that you weren't there for the two trunks encounters, but we have a multiple layered thing here. Now, what you are seeing on the outer one is like a normal clock. I'm not going to put in all the numbers, but like a normal clock. Just imagine, a normal clock there. On the second layer of one, it's similar, but the top, instead of it being a 12, is a 31, and then you see it start to go 1, 2, all the way around to it gets to 30, and then back to the top of 31. So like in the 11 o'clock position on a normal clock, that's where 30 would be. But you see 30 numbers all the way around. On the innermost one, not dissimilar, it starts at 24, then 1, and goes all the way around back up to 24. And that is what you see as Inendryll, as you're kind of squirming, going like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll see it. Yeah, I'll see it.
And so that's what you see. And she goes, this is your final puzzle. You must solve.
Alrighty. Let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So the outer rim looks like a normal clock, with the 12 numbers.
And then on the far left outside is a 6.
So this would be like a normal clock. So it's like 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, sorry.
And that's why it was like it
9,
restarts.
10, yeah. And then the same starts at 31, and then imagine it goes 1, 2, 3, and it goes all the way back around up to 31, and then 24 is the same. 24 is at the top, then it goes 1, 2, 3, 23, 24.
So is the second ring, is that days in a month?
Do you say that out loud to Inendryll?
I said that to myself.
Okay.
Alright, so, like, the second ring inside, is that like 31 days in a month?
Oh, you are ever so perceptive.
Oh, yes, I'm not always. Yes, I'm getting lucky.
So now she sort of like takes you over and she sets you on top of the first right finger. So you're standing on top. So you can still look down and see it, but she's not holding you anymore.
Alright, I mean, it was fun, but it's fine. It's all stand like a ponce, not a dragon. Alright, and so then, so we've got month. So we've got time, we've got days in a month, and then hours in a day.
Ooh.
Am I wrong?
Which one is hours in a day?
The third one in where it says 24.
Oh. You're figuring this out so much quicker than your friends.
Well, they are bloody idiots, so yeah, it makes sense. Alright. Is there any kind of hand that points to any of them?
Roll a perception check.
9!
You don't notice anything at this point.
Alright.
We now cut to Duroc, Ren, and Yumhorn. You guys are standing on the platter. The platter pavilion. And Inendryll says to you, well, you've got presents. You've been given items. You've got one more small thing to do. I want you to see something. And she grabs all of you like by the back, so your cloaks, with her hands. Not aggressively.
Okay.
She just kind of grabs you and like lifts you up. And she says, roll me a perception on the platter.
$14.
19.
Durok, you are scared. You're like, oh, well, hey, what's going on here? Like,
Accurate.
Ren, you got a 19?
19, yeah.
Okay. Ren, you immediately see it. Yamhorn, you doth protest a little bit, but then she kind of goes in your minds, all mentally. Just look down. And Durok, you look down. Yamhorn, you like, oh. Ren's already looking down. You guys realize that? You're like, oh, Ren's got it. Ren, you don't realize this, like a dad letting go of a son, teaching him how to ride his bike. She lets go of you and you stay floating.
Is my cape like flapping like dragon wings?
It's a cloak. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's just sort of billowing a little bit at the bottom, but you assume maybe because you're wiggling, unless you want to roll me your perception to realize.
Sure. 7.
Okay. It takes you 70 seconds to realize it. So, let me draw this out for you gents real quick. What you see. Forgive the numbers because this is too much. This one is 31. And then 1, 2, and you assume that it goes all the way to 31 around.
Okay.
And this one in the middle, I'll show you a symbol. This one is back to no, what am I talking about? Let me look. Oh yeah, this one is 24, and then 1, 2, and so you assume that they go all around. Inendryll hears Ren muttering, and she says, "What was that, Ren?"
So it's hours and days and something else.
Months.
12, 3, 6.
12 months.
12 months. Okay. And months.
And then she sort of and this is Ren, you guys sit there for a while. This is when you realize that she's not holding on to you, because now you can see her claw in front of you, and she gives Yamhorn snaps when she says months. So you all collectively realize months, the outer, days, the second.
And hours?
Hours in the middle. Okay?
How long have we been here? I'm asking Inendryll.
How long have you been here? Well, I don't know. How long have you been here?
By outside terms.
Can we use the power to roll back time? I say we go back in time to the dinner party and we royally screw up everything about it. How great would that be? Huh? Like we just kill them all right there and take over?
Would we wouldn't encounter ourselves, would we?
Well, that's where things get tricky. That's when time explodes.
Kill them too. What does it matter?
Then we won't exist.
Time paradoxes.
Have we never got
Haven't you
to
ever
that point?
seen Back to the Future?
No.
You just disappear.
That's not how it would work. Trust me. How does that even make any sense?
The look.
Fine. They can help us kill them. Wouldn't that be great? Like, what a great story. We team up with Ren and Friends.
Before they're Ren and Friends.
That would actually be really cool.
They just get to see what they look like in the future, and it's like, here's this merry band of misfits with new armor.
She's sort of listening to you and just chuckling, and going, oh, this is just listening to you. And she says, you do have some things right.
We're going back.
Although the dinner party is not where you're going to.
Oh.
Yamaran says, "Hang on one second. I've got an idea." He jumps down. He messes with the clock. Goes back in time. Stops Ferdinand from getting shot. Ferdinand lives on, and Lanston still lives.
Yeah, Lanston.
And now Lanston is also with us.
What's up, jerks?
Yeah.
Oh!
That does not happen.
Let's go get everybody back.
On this time above, looking, you didn't really notice it before because they were like sort of, hidden in the fingers, but you notice kind of like a, triangular sort of in 3 different spots on these fingers here. These sort of sideways, sort of triangular, almost like dials, if you will. And you notice them on 3 different rings.
Right.
And they have longer handles, so they kind of stick out, and you assume that the longer handled one goes with the
middle.
As the handles get longer.
Okay.
That's the inner circles.
How do we safely use these things? Because we've been screwed over before with one of these things.
Yes, the trunks.
Yeah, time travel has definitely messed us up before.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm aware of these trunks.
So,
those trunks do not have the power that these do because they are not sending you in time. They are merely bending time around you.
So, we're going through time. Pick a spot, boys. It's happening. Can you get it ready for us?
Unfortunately, you must remember. And you all know this information, some of which you don't even realize yet. So I hope your memories are good. You have to remember back to the day that Baravin...
We're going back to stop Zarvog from being reborn. Buckle up, kids!
As I already said, you will not be going back to that night, as that's the same night as the feast.
I reach over and I cover Durok's mouth. Let her talk.
Sorry.
By the way, she's set you down on the ground by this point.
Okay.
I kind of like float.
How high or were we?
At least 100 feet. You were up pretty tall. Nice. What's up?
No, it's just I can't believe I have a flying character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty big. These dragons are no joke. They're huge dragons. And I think I said 300 or 400 feet, and then I realized like how tall that was. I was like, nah, it's probably too tall. So they're I'm going to put them at 200 because that's a pretty still gnarly large size.
Yeah.
And if they stand up on their hind legs or something, they go up, another, I'll say 75 feet-ish. Some are shorter, but she's like longer and like, there's a reason she kind of is in charge of the elven territory. You have a very regal elven feel to her overall vibe. And so after she scolds Durok for saying the same thing yet again.
I forgot it was the same night. I'm sorry. 2 separate episodes.
The fight took place in a separate episode. However, you being in that chamber was the same episode as the dinner.
Maybe we go back to before we're captured.
As I already said, you will not be traveling that far back in time.
Okay.
I slowly put him in a chokehold and put him to sleep so we can hear the rest of this.
Before Bulgurum got burned down.
And he's out. Continue.
Strength 3 straight.
I'm tempted to take crit, son.
Yamhorn goes behind and says, "Quiet," and tries to choke Durok out.
And I just flex my neck.
Yeah, and it pops Yamhorn up, and he's like, "Whoa,
man, you're really fat."
Yeah, you got the He's got those
the jowls.
No, the
yeah, like the
the traps.
Yeah, the traps that they all of a sudden they just do like, and it's like two softballs just come out of the tub. He's like, still got it. She patiently waits for you all to settle down. And when she feels as though you guys are done monkeying around, she says, you have to go back to the day that Zarvog ravaged Bulgarum. That was the tipping point. So, how many months ago was that?
9.
At least 9, yeah.
Plus whatever travel time we've done since then. Yeah.
Really hasn't been that long. We've made pretty good time.
But how long were we with Nikki? It was like no time passed down there, right?
Yeah, no time passed down there. And we weren't down there for all that long anyway.
How long did it take us to get here? A couple days?
Mm-hmm.
Because we had like 2 days supply.
It was like 9.5 months. Call it an even 10. We'll wait in Bulgarum. We'll get ready.
It has to be precise. So,
I wish I could remember, but I was busy peeing myself that day.
9 months is correct.
Nice.
And I will say that you were very close on days to rock. And you're on the right track as far as figuring out if one of you would like to make a history check.
I got this.
Not me.
17.
19.
Okay, then Ren, as is usually Ren's way with Yamhorn, gets the answer right before Yamhorn does.
I was going to say that.
And says, he's sitting there, he's going doing like little finger counting, and he goes, 5 days. Yahtzee.
Right. 9 months, 5 days? Is that what you got, Ren?
All right,
Yep, yeah,
only
that
one
sounds right.
thing left. We cut back to Peleus.
Alright, still confused. I haven't figured anything out yet.
So Peleus, talk it out loud to yourself. What's the smallest ring with the 24?
Hours in a day, and then I would assume it goes to minutes?
With the 31?
No, those are days in a month.
Okay. So now working your way out.
And then months of the year. Alright, here we go.
You
yeah.
start hearing some light bongos playing in the background like it's a cool coffee shop, and then you hear this weird sound which is like, and when you look up you see that she's snapping her claws together like she's giving you snaps.
Alright, yeah, snaps on those, yeah. Alright.
She says, in order to turn back time and go where you need to go, Peleus,
right.
you need to remember the month, the day, and the specific hours to get where you need to get. Now, your friends have been waxing philosophically about going far too back in time and those sorts of things. I will give you a hint, though. The day that you saw the lights in the sky in Bulgarum.
So we just gotta go back to that day, then.
That seems to be the tipping point.
Alright, well, now let's see if I can remember days. Oh, this is gonna be a doozy.
If I may make one suggestion.
Alright.
I would say start at the top and work your way in. It's a little easier.
So we're thinking like December 31st at midnight?
kind of roll me another perception check on the platter.
20, not natural.
Great. So now you see here, and here what are kind of like upside down, like if you cut a sandwich into triangles, but you just make one side straight. So it's like a 90-degree angle and then across. But number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1 has somewhat of a shorter sort of outcropping. Number 2 goes out just a little bit farther. Number 3 is out even farther. And that's what you notice now sitting around. And she says, you're going to have to figure out the months, the days, and the hours in which to go back. So,
all right.
If you were to guesstimate.
Yeah. No, I'm going to guess...
How long ago was Bulgurum? And give me a history. Check on
that. 10.
Okay.
Wait, let me retry.
Okay. Let me think harder.
11.
She says, you get it in your brain as you're thinking. You're like, all right, it was anywhere from 7 to 10 months ago.
So I'm going to guess October 2nd. At about the 19th, 20th hour.
Okay. She says that's a very interesting way of looking at it. However, we're going to be going back. So you need to tell me how many months you want to go back from now, how many days, and how many hours. And that will set the date. You don't need to know the specific. You just need to tell me how many months you want to go back. And then it sort of kind of clicks in your head like, oh, maybe these things are the little triangle things. You're like, oh, I need to maybe move those to the numbers of how many months ago it was, how many days ago it was, and how many hours ago it was.
Now, I've been drinking a lot.
Sure.
So currently, I'm not sure what the date is today.
Right.
Real time?
They didn't either. They didn't know the date either. I will say to you, outside of game, if you can remember the episode, how long did they spend in the trunk?
Oh, wasn't it like 3 months? Poop.
Roll me a history. Roll the DM a history.
20, not natural.
Good. Then you'll go like, okay, you're kind of figuring out like, okay, 3 months ago I was over here, and then this many months ago I was over here, and then 3 months after that I was there. So if I add 3 and 3 together,
9 months ago.
ooh, and in Inendryll, her tail starts to flap a little bit on the ground.
All right, so I move the 1.
Mm-hmm.
I move that to the 9.
Okay. So you'll notice as you grab it. Actually, give me a strength check.
Cool. It's not my strength. So 13.
Okay. It was at a 12.
Oh, yeah.
So you walk up to it for a second, you kind of like push on it or whatever, and then you go like, then all of a sudden you notice a seam in the finger. So you grab it and you pull it out, and it kind of clicks into place. And which way would you like to go? Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Well, I want to go to the 9, so counterclockwise.
Okay. So you turn back time to the 9, and you click, 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 and you push it in place. And now the first notch is on the 9.
All right, now I gotta remember months and days ago. All right.
So for you, this will be a little bit more difficult, but I want you to roll me a history check to remember a conversation with your mom. We now cut to Duroc, Ren, and Yamhorn. How many hours?
Well, we were down there for 18 hours, but... And when,
If this is day 5, how many hours has it been since you started it? It's really quite simple math, Dwarf.
With all the mirrors and everything. When did we get here?
We fought a tornado with a face.
There was the scorpion.
There was some
Tornado.
merfolk. We sailed through the night. Got on the island.
Yeah, so it was
So
would
now
have been
it's-
morning.
I don't
With the
think we've had
island.
a night here, have we?
Well,
No, we haven't.
we completed stuff and we got healed up, but
Yeah, that seemed more magical than.
yeah, time
Sleeping.
passes different on this island.
So it was morning when we got here. I think we can establish that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yamhorn checks his sundial watch. What time is it now? Where's the sun?
What did
in the
Duroc
sky?
roll?
He rolled a 6
And what was he rolling for?
to remember how many hours we've been here.
Ah,
Yeah, I was thinking a nature
you're
check
befuddled.
to
Yeah, give me a nature
try
check.
and remember how long.
If that's something that you're good with, Ren.
13.
Okay. You feel as though it's between 5 and 10 hours.
Okay. 5 and 10 hours. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yamhorn, did you roll?
Yeah, but I got lower than that.
No, right?
Can we see the sun in the sky or anything, or is this?
I mean, I wouldn't recommend looking at it.
Not directly at
Yamhorn
it, but
puts on his
you
special
can.
glasses.
You can. And you did, and that's what you said, 5 to 10 hours.
It's still a really wide range.
Yep.
I ask Inendryll, what time of day is it right now?
Afternoonish.
What time did the sun come up? I don't know, call it 8 hours. Sun comes up at 6, it's afternoon-ish, 2 o'clock. Good to go.
I could message someone with sending and ask them what time it is. Who do we know on an island nearby?
Would Peleus know?
Peleus, what time is it right now?
Peleus isn't with you. Peleus' experiences, as you guys all know, he's experienced his own befuddlement with this puzzle.
What about that druid? Would he be honest?
Oh, Ashwin is no longer in your area.
I want to use my know your enemy ability on the sun.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. All right. Don't do that, though.
It's 8 hours. It's 8 hours. Inendryll.
Yamhorn
Yes.
looks. Hey Ren,
Yeah.
can you take me up?
Oh, yeah.
We can let's see if we can see, or maybe you can just go. Is the tide in or out?
Okay.
What, you know the tide charts for this island?
Hey, cycles, moons, right? Am I right? Do you guys have that same riddle that I had, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, about the sun and the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
Nailed
something
it.
about rain. and
Yeah.
then- yeah. It got there.
Could have swore it was chickens, but
So yeah, I can fly up and see like what the tides look like.
Yeah, and maybe where the sun is in relative to the horizon.
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll throw my cloak out.
Whoa!
Just
Young
out-
holds his hands in front of his
like
eyes.
kind of like in a to make him wings kind of looking
Hmm.
and shoot up into the sky.
Are you holding on to him?
No.
No, he's just checking.
I'll just
for
go
us.
up
He's just
and
checking?
Yeah, I'll just go up and look.
All right.
to him and it's gonna let go really high.
Perception to see.
Well, I'll tell you this. You don't need to, like, fluff your cloak every time. You can
No,
just
I
jump
want
off the
to
ground.
though. I think it's great.
Okay. Are you making a
Would it be-
perception on
Would it be nature or?
Sure.
Nature or perception?
nature?
Nature. Okay.
Yeah, since you're looking at nature all around us.
Give yourself guidance.
That's a 9.
You also roll me a Arcana. You go up and you see the ocean, and what weirds you out is that, like, you actually look and you see, like, all of those behind the sort of mountain or whatever, and you can kind of see all the rocks, and you sort of get a vague idea that, oh, those are the rocks that we were navigating through. And then as you kind of look around, you go, oh, it's like a dragon's tail sticking out of the water. However, the seas are completely calm. There is no whirlpool. There doesn't even actually look like there's merfolk, honestly. There's not like that underwater thing. It just looks like a nice Caribbean thing. Ocean looks to be in the same areas where it was before, and it's just lightly lapping at the sand. You see Peleus's boat where you left it, so that's good. And then you float back down. However, what was your perception?
It was a 9.
Okay.
What was the Arcana?
It was also a 9. I'm not trained in Arcana.
Okay. Well, bummer.
But I let them know what I see up there.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be a whirlpool or anything. It actually looks really nice up there.
Do you mind taking me up? Because I feel like I've been on the ocean a little bit more than everyone else at this point.
Yeah. Roll a strength with advantage since he wants to go up.
$10.
Your hands keep slipping off of him. You kind of like keep, and then it's like, oh, no, you're too sweaty.
Oh, sorry.
Here you guys go.
I oiled
You got-
myself up.
I got
Sorry.
you back.
You got a
I
nice rope.
Start uncoiling my rope.
You wouldn't make it over the tree line that are surrounding the area. As you can see, it's a round circular area surrounded by trees.
Well, I was just going to tie them together.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I tie the rope around your waist.
Okay.
And I, like, whisper the word to the rope to, like, make sure it's secure. And
Secure.
And then I go and tie it around Yumhorn's waist. I'm like, now be careful. And then I say the word secure.
I feel like this would it would be really funny to watch.
And there you go. Now now you're tied to him if you want to go up.
Okay. So now that we're tied together, I want to try to fly up.
Okay, you go up, and like a dead weight, Yamhorn is just sort of acting like an anchor.
I'm just struggling to like.
Because Duroc forgot to,
Tell the rope it was okay.
tell the rope that he should, level it out with either side.
Rope. Help them out. Make it easier on them. Level it out on either side.
I'm gonna roll once. I haven't rolled once this session. Ooh, hot dice. Glad we're not fighting. Got an 18. So your rope listens to you this time.
This time.
And it sort of floats Yamhorn up to Ren, and then it sort of takes over, and the magic together here on this island keeps you level above the 60-foot mark. And now you saw the same stuff that Ren did.
So yeah,
you're up above the tree line. Roll me a nature, and also roll me a Arcana perception.
Okay.
Can I use the help action to point out the things that I already saw so that he...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's advantage.
So I get advantage?
So you see all the stuff that he saw.
Okay. So first will be the perception.
Mm-hmm.
And guidance.
Don't matter. 6 on perception.
So you saw everything that he saw. Only because he helped him out. Yamhor was just like, oh, wow, I'm flying. And he's like, this is everything you see. He's like, oh, yeah, it is.
Non-natural 20 on the Arcana.
Okay. On the Arcana then, as you're floating back down because of failed looking, you start to notice small, shadowy, winged creatures sort of perched inside of the trees, and some are flitting back and forth as you're coming back down to the ground.
As we are going down, I'm going to mention to Ren that I saw those things, and I feel like we saw them on the way in too, like little dragons flying around.
Well, that's what he said. He said that they were dragons.
Yeah.
And Durok noticed it. I don't know if they said, I can't remember if they said it out loud so that you know that
Right.
they're...
Yeah, I remember pointing it out.
Okay. So yeah, I'm saying I see these things. Do we know if they're with her?
We never asked.
Maybe we do that when we get down there, and then we'll tackle this time thing.
Okay.
All right.
So you're on the ground.
I recoil my rope.
Okay.
Inendryll.
Mm-hmm.
What up? She's shuffling her
Do you
cards.
know anything about these little dragon-like creatures that are flying around in the forest?
Dragon-like creatures?
Yeah, they're like
you've
really
seen
small.
dragon-like creatures?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In the trees. I saw them too.
They're
We were-
very shadowy, stealthy-like.
Yeah,
I
when
think
we
I
were
saw
coming
him
in.
too.
Interesting.
Like good, interesting.
I don't know. All three of you roll me perceptions.
16.
9.
12.
Then Yamhorn, over the brief light wind rustle, hears the tiniest little giggle, almost as if a miniature velociraptor was laughing. And then Inendryll just kind of looks at you. She's like, would you hear something?
I did, and I'm just suddenly feeling the urge to clench my buttocks.
You're a mom.
Oh, Yamhorn.
Uh,
What's that?
You're a mom?
No. Well, kind of, but not in the classical sense.
You got tiny dragon babies running around.
No, not really.
You got tiny dragon foster kids running around.
That is more accurate.
All right. Cool.
are they related to you?
In and as much as they wouldn't be here if me or my 3 other kin had never showed up.
Okay.
Do they know what time it is?
Do they know what time it is?
Yeah.
They don't perceive time in the same way that you do.
So who?
You guys were very close. I'm surprised you gave up on it so quickly.
It's 8 hours, absolutely. 8 hours.
Who is Peleus' mom again? We could message her and ask her how long it's been.
Anowin?
Aonowin, yeah.
Aowen? Because I know her. You want to try that?
Just to ask what time?
Yeah. How long we've been gone.
Oh.
And then we can extrapolate that number.
Subtract 2 days, essentially, from...
You've already got the
Yeah.
days. You've got
Yeah.
the month and the days. You're only looking for the hours.
Yeah.
9 months, 5 days, between 5 to 10 hours. That's what we know.
That's what we know. We need to narrow it down just a little bit more.
It has to be precise, and Inendryll reminds you it has to be precise. And then she claps her two front hands together.
Can I just measure the growth of my beard to try and get a better feel for time?
No, because it was magically grown back.
Dang it. Can I just keep trying to recall in my memory what time it is?
Sure.
12 for a history check.
Then you come to the same realization as Ren. It's definitely 5 to 10 hours.
Okay.
While 8 sounds right, I don't know, there's a nagging feeling.
Okay, what kind of feeling do I get on 7? With a 16.
You feel that you've narrowed your window, that it's definitely between 6 and 9.
You guys, I think it's closer to 6 and 9, not 5 and 10.
Okay.
Just judging from my
Well, we
level of hunger, and I have a very regular digestive system. I'm thinking
all about those
Do
cycles.
you need a snack?
6 and 9.
I think I've still got some leftover pork belly.
Okay.
You know,
We now
I'm
cut to Peleus. Good Lord. Okay, so
I have like +8 to my history.
okay, well that's good for this. So
Steel trap up here.
you remember a conversation with your mother in which she used message to call you in, and you remember her saying that these travelers, including your sister, were there, and they had been there for a day. And then you remember that with the journey to the island and where you're at right now, it's been 4 days total for you. So doing that math.
So, like, a day plus 4 days. So 5 days.
And her tail starts to flap a little bit harder on the ground, and she just kind of, you hear her chuckling in your head.
Yeah, simple math isn't my strong suit, so really gotta talk it out. Right, I'm gonna try to take the number 2.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna move it counterclockwise.
Probably like right there.
Yeah, 5 days back.
All right, so you move it counterclockwise, and you bring it up to the 5, and then you push it forward a little bit, and locks into place. And what you feel is that, like, underneath, it's like these sort of like longer things, and then like as you move it, like, and then you push it over, and it like locks in basically.
All right. Oh, now the hour.
Hour. So it's been 9 months and 5 days, but you've been with them for 5 days. Now, when you landed on the island and you first came out of the merfolk area, it was early morning. You've had trials and tests and tribulations. And now you are here with Inendryll. And you need to figure out how many hours you've been here on the island, because that will be the 3 numbers that you need.
Let's see here.
And you may go about that however you like.
I'm gonna take my boots off. I'm gonna check my feet
Okay.
for new calluses. Because that will usually give me a good idea about how long I've been traveling.
Sure. There's still a little bit of sand on the bottom of your feet, mixed in with like a little bit of wood from the wooden slide and the tops of the trees you were jumping over and falling through the forest, because I think you only hit a couple and then you just fell like 100 feet or something like that.
Yeah, I fell hard.
And then there's a little bit of sort of like darkened, a little bit of soot and that sort of thing from when you were setting all those trees on fire, battling your pal Ashwin.
Oh, that's right. I was barefoot for that, too.
And then once again, you walk across the sand, and then you walk down the long, skinny, trailed area to get here. Although this area is very nice. It's kind of grassy, not too much dirt. Yeah, I guess roll me a history check on calluses.
I'm going to read my calluses like I'm reading a palm.
Okay.
The lines on them.
Yeah. It's like when a tree's cut open, the layers.
24.
Oh, God. I said it at like an 18. Okay. So you realize, dude, Inendryll once again says, you were doing so much better than your friends.
Well, I'm crafty. Pirate.
We now cut back to Yumhorn, old hungry Humhorn, Duroc and Ren.
So what do I get with a 19 in survival?
Survival?
Yeah, because my survival's on the line. And time telling.
That's a very unique perspective.
So
with survival, you would realize that you've been doing a pretty good surviving out here. And it's definitely between 6 and 9.
Okay. Definitely between those times.
I go to Inendryll and I say, this whole thing is a joke. I obviously know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is I don't think you know what time it is.
Oh, interesting.
So why don't you prove to me that you know what time it is? I want to roll a deception.
I would say it wouldn't be a deception because you're not trying to deceive me. You're trying to persuade me to give you something.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to try to deceive me that you think I know it, I guess, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give you anything. But if you want to try to persuade me to give you something. I mean, her wisdom is just a little bit bigger than yours.
That's safe to say.
Inendryll.
Who?
Thought that was her name.
Inendryll.
That's what she said, but I thought it was wrong. Fine. Inendryll. Can we please know the time? Please. I'm begging you.
Are you?
I'm begging. I am on my hands and knees.
That's weird. You're standing up.
I'm on my hands and knees now.
Oh, you are.
On all four. I'm on all four. I'm bowing to you and your infinite power. You're so wise and powerful and beautiful that you can kill us. Remember when you almost killed me? You can do that at any time.
Oh, I was just playing around.
How about I show you a card trick
Oh,
and you tell us the time?
all right.
Okay, so Duroc takes out his deck of cards
Okay.
and he patiently divides it
Okay.
in half. But he's being pretty thorough. And he has 2 piles of cards.
Okay.
And he sets one down, and he picks up another, and he says, pick a card. Any card. But they're covered, though. You can't see them.
You fan him out?
Yeah.
9th one.
Okay, so you pick the 9th one.
Dang
Then
it, that was the wrong one.
Then I place that pile back over here, and I grab this pile, and I say, I'm going to shuffle it into this half.
Okay.
And I shuffle it all up,
Okay.
and I say, now I'm going to pick out your card.
Okay.
I didn't look at it. We all saw. So now I start going through them one by one, and I find your exact card there. And I hold it up, and I show it to you.
What was my card?
Well, I don't... It's because I made one pile of black cards and one pile of red
I know
cards.
that's how you did the trick. That's why I was asking what my card was.
It was the 9 of clubs.
And she relays to you, your sleight of hand could use some work.
Well, I never said it was a fancy trick. I just said I would show you one.
Sure. I'm not impressed.
Think about all the kids you can trick with it.
Oh, I could trick everybody with my tricks. I just assumed that your rolls would be terrible and went easy on you.
Inendryll,
Yes.
given all the information you've given us about gods and the history
Sure.
and everything, how about I give you a gift of a dead god
Such
in
as.
exchange for the time?
Such as.
He rummages through his pockets inside his cloak and pulls out a little burned up sprig of a fir tree and says, "This was imbued with the power of Pacific, but I have not heard of Pacific. I believe Pacific to be dead, and at the very least unimportant in this world. I offer this to you as a gift, if you'll have it, in exchange for the time."
She daintily takes it between two of her claws and sniffs it.
You can name what type of fur it is, then I'll tell you.
Hadric.
I was meaning for him.
He already said it.
No? He
I
said a
didn't say
type
it,
of
but
fur.
that's an easy question. I got that.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine, fair enough.
Oh, I thought you said it was a Hadric fir tree that you was imbued with what you thought was the thing of Pacific.
Yeah.
A sprig. Anyway. She pops it in her mouth and swallows it.
In the time?
Somewhere between 6 and 9.
Oh my god.
Little did she know I used sleight of hand, and that was actually a poison dart.
She's kind of immune to poison.
Okay,
Figures.
well, Durok's out of thoughts, so he's gonna go meditate.
There are 3 different times you guys were getting places with this, and then you just gave up.
Can we just keep rolling history checks?
What about you guys? How,
Without doing that,
how
I don't know
hungry-
what to do.
how hungry are you guys? Like dinner time?
You can definitely tell by the sun in the sky it's not dinner time-ish. As I said earlier, it's in the
afternoonish.
It's afternoonish. We cut back to Peleus. All right. She's like, they're starting to get it. And so that Durok always kind of throwing a monkey wrench in things.
Yeah, he does that.
And so she says, well, have your calluses told you anything? And based off of your roll, you're doing the math. Tell me how you read your calluses.
All right. Well, now it's mostly like one whole callus on the bottom, but then they kind of grow new ones when I walk on my feet, and so judging, I'll walk, heel to toe on my right side, but toe to heel on my left side. I walk in like a skip, kind of, and so judging by how the calluses have grown from front to back or back to front, I'm going to say about 7 hours.
And she gives like one very excited thump with her tail.
All right, I'm going to get the 3, and I'm going to move it back 7 hours counterclockwise.
Okay, so you go counterclockwise and you go all the way around, and you're back to the 7 where you just were, and you push it into place.
I'm gonna go meditate and attune to my sword. You guys sort this one out. This other thing is important too, I guess.
All right. Yumhorn starts to he takes his dagger and he draws a circle in the dirt with his dagger. And looking up at where the sun is, he figures out wherever north is.
Mm-hmm.
And then sticks his dagger right in the middle of the circle to see if it'll cast a shadow, and he can figure out what time it is using that.
Okay.
What should I roll? Would that be another nature?
Sure.
Okay. 19.
Then Yamhorn, after a couple of minutes, you say, woohoo, I'm a hero. And you say, 100% positive 7 hours.
Guys, totes, 7 hours. If my calculations are correct, it's
Yeah,
been
sell it
7
to
hours.
him.
Yeah.
All right.
And I look at Inendryll to see if I get any reaction out of her face.
You see the ever so slightest twitch of her upper lip, like she just held back a smirk.
Oh, I'll insight it.
And I do a huge grin as I look back at the guys. I think I'm right.
It's going to be a 26.
Jeez.
I have really high insight.
Then she catches you, and as Yamhorn immediately just sees the little thing and starts celebrating, running around, is like, I did it. She looks right at you, Ren, and winks.
I think you got it.
All right.
You're so smart. Now, can we go back in time and clean up house?
9 months, 5 days,
7
7
hours.
hours.
957. Oh my God. It's the
course.
Fibonacci sequence.
The golden formula.
Some might say we're going to ride the spiral.
Oh, good.
I like the slide. If we
So,
took another slide, that would be cool.
guys,
Yes.
do we need to do anything about... I say this like this, covering my face from Inendryll. I say, guys, should we be concerned about these little mini dragons flying around, or should we just get going?
Nah, I don't care about him.
She seems to be okay with them, so I don't.
Okay.
She seems wise and benevolent.
All right.
So how do we turn these?
Turn back time.
Make the How do we turn back time?
Here's a question for the dragon. If we go, are we just going to like hop back out into the fray and it's going to be on fire? We're going to have to fight?
One question at a time, dwarf. Yes, Halfling, what did you say first?
How do we use the dials to turn back time?
Well, I would imagine you grab the handles and push them to the appropriate numbers.
Oh,
so they line up.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, that makes
All
sense.
right.
Yeah, duh, Ren. I knew that.
So, is this the boss battle? Should I spend some time here meditating with my sword?
I don't have that knowledge.
What do you guys think?
Are you okay with us taking a little breather?
As far as I know, you guys are completely healed, but...
Well, I kind of punched some things.
That's right.
That's right. I can heal you real quick.
She goes, oh, sweetie. And she kind of taps, she pats the top of your head. You feel better.
I mean, it would just be really cool if we're going to go fight a dragon to be able to protect myself from fireballs and stuff.
It sounds like somebody should have been attuning to their sword a lot more. I don't think you... I mean, technically you do have that kind of time, but not sitting here with me.
Screw it. Let's go. Never needed that power before.
Yeah, I say let's go.
Okay.
Ren, you in?
Yeah, let's turn these
Hands in on 3.
Turn these dials.
Turn back time on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Turn back time.
Forever.
Oh, we got to move these dials.
And,
yeah.
and you sort of, hear through the ether, all right, yeah, what a bunch of ponces. You're like, Ghost Peleus? All right, so is that what you're doing?
Wait, should we wait for Peleus?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
DM,
wait for Peleus.
what-
Your
do we-
friend is fine.
Okay.
Oh.
He has his own path to take.
He's going to meet us there?
I think we'll find out.
It's going to be... Remember, though, how he killed that scorpion? That could be useful.
Yeah, he did annihilate that scorpion pretty hard.
It sounds like if
And
I'm
it sounds like to me, even though Peleus is much of a jokester, witch doctor or not, he has seen flashes of light in the sky before. So I can only imagine that he will know what to do once he gets there.
All right.
let's trust the process, guys.
We'll see you there when we get back to the future.
You're coming back to visit me?
Well,
As
I
time goes
pulled
on,
Durak by the arm. Come on, let's
we'll
go.
eventually get to this point again, and then we'll see her. And
Yamhorn starts to turn the dials.
it's true. You are
Okay.
going to see my past self eventually.
Give me a
Anyways.
strength.
$13. If we're talking straight strength.
10,
Oh, you want to add your athletics?
12.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what I rolled.
Take your modifier for your strength and subtract it.
Yeah, so that would be 19.
Okay. Duroc cracks his knuckles. It's like, all right, let's do this first one. 9 months. Here we go. Well, guys, I don't think it's going to move. In classic Duroc fashion, I'm going to give up immediately. Well, I guess what? We hammer our way through this.
We dig.
Yeah, let's dig through time. Here we go. Ren and Friends on me.
Stay close or you might get some gravel in the face.
I love that I know, like, because I listen to the episodes so much, like, as I'm editing and doing stuff, like, I know, like, your little isms. It's so funny.
If we can't go through it, we're going under it.
We're going under time. So you guys immediately start, Yamhorn's like, get out of my way. He's like, it's a pole. And so he pulls it forward and then pushes it over to 9. Oh. He pulls the other one and it seems to come out even farther and it's almost like underneath it's shrinking and that sort of thing. And then he puts it on the 5, pulls the last one, moves it all the way around, one whole thing, one whole rotation, puts it on the 7 hours. And immediately, all 3 circles start to turn. And you hear Inendryll say to you, I'd get off the platform if I were you.
Oh, well, and then Peleus hops backwards off the finger he was standing on.
Okay.
Or whatever one he was standing on. The 3, probably.
And they're almost like on their own separate things because now the cogs that are pointing at the arrows of the numbers, they're all staying on the same thing and are all rotating and whirring and in this circular tree area. As you see, as the wind starts to pick up and there starts to be like, sparks of magic and everything through the air, you see like a flock of geese being pushed out of the trees, or like whenever like they're at a park or whatever and like a bunch of birds fly out, you see a bunch of fairy dragons scatter out of the trees. True. And all of a sudden Inendryll pops up into the sky, take a lap, and start flying all the way down to the end of the walkway, and you see her kind of like zoom in from the sky and hit the walkway, start zooming towards you, like how Superman when he's got his hands out and then it's like he goes faster by putting them by his side. She's got her wings out, and then all of a sudden as soon as she hits that walkway that you guys were going on, she puts her wings by her side and she just shoots right for you. She's coming right at you. What are your initial thoughts?
Whoa! All right, I'm gonna jump and try to ride her. Here we go. My dreams are coming true.
In between, like basically over the head of the sticking out of the ground and in front of the mouth, as you turn back, Duroc, you, in a split second, see her head basically flip you up go right under your legs, and she flips you up onto her back. And like you get ready, you're like, okay, here we go, and like you're right on top, and you get ready to jump, and as soon as you do, you kind of like slip on the roundedness of the finger, and she shoots through the little walking area, and as you're slipping, she grabs you and brings you to her chest, and you go right through the portal.
Boy!
Yamhorn and Ren, you feel her grab you by the neck, and you go right through the portal.
Nice.
And that's where we leave it for this week.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would have gotten to more, but
you rode that dragon.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
I have 3 more pages of stuff, but puzzles, right? Yeah. So for next time, ladies and gents, I've been your host and DM. Sorry, that was fun. I've been waiting months to tell you guys that stuff. That's so much stuff that I've wanted to tell you when you've hung out afterwards. And I've been Bentley Michaels, your host and DM. To my right, we have
Caleb is Yamhorndoril.
Dash as Peleus Eonearth.
Rhett is Duroc Dragon's Burn.
Milo's Run.
Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.